So we just evolved your Fuecoco into the Skeletor, and now what you do next is you attach an energy on Skeletor, and then after you attach energy on Skeletor, hang on. One of my cards in my hand fell. You can use Switch. Switch allows you to switch your active Pokemon from one of your bench Pokemon. In this case, you're placing Mareep with your Skeletor card. And since it already has required energy, this attack lets you deal 50 damage to your opponent's Pokemon. So 50 damage, we go. Sneasel still has 50 damage, by the way. This Sneasel. There's also special ability. Choose more. Choose a maximum of 2 basic energy cards from your discard pile, and then put it in your Pokemon in any way you like. Do I have a maximum of 2? Well, I don't have 2, but at least I have 1. And I can use this to fuel up my Skeletor attack. And I end my turn. Actually, no, that's you. Your opponent draws a card. Attaches an energy to his Hoopa. And he has required energy. Hang on. He has required energy. 2 dark energy and 2 dark energy and 1 energy, free energy. So he used Tyrant Hole, which deals 100 damage. Don't forget, he still has 50 damage. 100 damage. Check. Here, let me just put it up close. Skeletor's weakness is water types. And Hoopa is not a water type, it's a dark type. So it just is like that, doesn't have any weakness. And your opponent ends his turn. You draw a card. You use this card, which allows you to shuffle your hand into your deck. Take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. From the top of your deck. Take a close look at this Mareep. It's already critical damage. It's about to get knocked out. But still, you have a save. This is your hand. And luckily you have Flaffy. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You can evolve Mareep into Flaffy. Since it's not played during the first turn, it's your first basic Pokemon. And you evolve it into Flaffy. But you're still going to be sticking with Skeletor. And since you haven't attached an energy yet, go back to the center. You attach an energy to Skeletor. And you deal 190 damage to your opponent, which makes your opponent's Hoopa knocked out. Now, when you knock out a Pokemon, you take 1 prize card. 1 prize card. So it's one prize card. By the way, if you knock out a regular Pokemon, such as this Hoopa, you get one prize card. And there's a rule box too for different kinds of Pokemon. Example, let's take a different Pokemon. Yeah, we'll have Mega Ampharos EX as an example. You remember from my unboxing video. So this is a rule box. So it says here, when a Pokemon EX has been knocked out, your opponent takes 2 prize cards. And that is what's called a rule box. So, yeah. It has a rule box, so when there's an ability like a trainer card that says you search for your deck for a Pokemon that doesn't have a rule box, it means a regular Pokemon. Since that's a rule box. Rule boxes say how many prize cards you should take for that Pokemon. And yeah, you knocked out your opponent's Hoopa, but Blaze Shout also has another effect. This Pokemon takes 30 damage. So you take 10 damage counters. So 1, 2, 3. You can use different kinds of the damage counters, by the way, as long as they still signify 10 damage. So now your opponent is going to use Tornadus. Opponent is going to use Tornadus. And since it's his turn, he draws a card. Since he only has 4 Pokemon in the bench, he gets to put his Ace Darkrai V on his bench. Watch out, because Darkrai V is a really powerful Pokemon. He also attaches an energy. And then, since he needs 3 of any energy, and his weakness is lightning types. So, since he hasn't met his required 3 energy, your opponent ends his turn. It's your turn. You draw a card. And you use Gym. Gym lets you search for a maximum of 2 Pokemon that 2 stage 1 or stage 2 Pokemon, and then shuffle your deck. Then show it to your opponents and put those cards in your hand. And since Fuecoco wasn't played this turn, you evolve Fuecoco into Crocolore. This is Crocolore. By the way, once again, sorry, by the way. So, Fuecoco is a basic Pokemon, and Crocolore evolves from Fuecoco. How do you know that? There's a picture of a Fuecoco, and it even says here, evolves from Fuecoco. Which is how you know it evolved from that. And you haven't played Flaffy this turn. You didn't play Flaffy this turn. You played it like 1 or 2 turns ago. Since you have Ampharos EX, you can evolve your Fluffy to Ampharos EX. And now you brought out your ace. By the way, even after you evolve, the damage counters will still stay on that Pokemon. And it's still your turn even after evolving. You already played a supporter, so you can't play any more supporters. And you haven't attached an energy yet, so you're able to attach energy to, let's see. And you attach energy to Growlithe, and you attack, and you attack using Skeledirge's Blaze Shout. Since it gives 190 damage, and Tornadus only has 120, your opponent's Pokemon is knocked out, along with all cards that are attached to it. Energy, and energy and even Pokemon tools. We'll discuss about that. So, you take another one prize card, since it's a regular Pokemon. And this is your prize card. You're not allowed to see what your prize cards are until you get a prize card. Your opponent puts Darkrai V on the active spot, which is bad news. Your opponent draws a card. And since he played Darkrai V one or two turns ago and didn't play it this turn, he gets to evolve Darkrai V into the Darkrai V-Star, his ultimate ace. Watch out, Darkrai V-Star is your opponent's most powerful Pokemon, with 270 health. Still a dark type. By the way, you need a V-Star mark. Yeah. Usually, when you have a V-Star Pokemon, there's like a chip, right? There's a chip. And then after you use your V-Star attack, you flip it. So it signifies that you already used your one chance to do it. To use your V-Star attack. So, and by the way, your opponent's not done yet. Your opponent puts, puts Purloin on his bench. He attaches an energy to his Darkrai V-Star. Make sure to check the ability, by the way. Okay. He uses his V-Star attack, Star Abyss. So, his ability lets him choose if it's his turn. And yeah, by the way, it's not a V-Star attack, it's a V-Star power. It allows you to choose 2 items from the discard pile and add it to your hand after showing it to your opponent. So, your opponent chooses 2 item cards, and the only 2 item cards in his discard pile. So, it's Great Ball and Switch. And he puts it in his hand.